what stress does to our body.
Well, there is a real relationship between the adrenal function and something called cortisol. So the body is built to deal with stressors and to face whatever the stress pattern is. The adrenals come online, and then when the stress is passed, there's a cortisol release that calms the system. That's the simple response to what you're saying to me. We don't have that any longer in that simplicity. The speed of what's going on in the world and the stresses of work and kids and relationships and money and banking and the environment, the amount of disruption there is collectively on the planet, there is often a constant state of stress. So this balance of adrenal and cortisol does not ever actually balance itself out in the system. So very often these stress patterns are actually on alert. Children that are traumatized, even into adult life, they live in something called hypervigilance. So that absolute relaxation response is never fully present in the body. So when we're stressed, thousands of years ago, or if you happen to be in Africa today and you get chased by a tiger, the autonomic system is built to fight or flee. So if you've got your Nikes on, you're going to start running, or maybe you're a tough guy and you're going to box the lion on the nose. But very often we can't fight, and we can't flee. So what we do is freeze. And this creates a very intense stress in the body. So if you imagine right now that something happens in a situation where it stresses you, and this is usually in an emotional environment, or maybe you're worried about work, or your relationship, or your money situation, or how you're going to buy that next thing, and suddenly the impact of it causes stress in the system, and what happens is the body holds its breath. So suddenly there's this, and in that moment there's a frozenness in the energy. So over time, there's a lot of these stressors that get built up in the body, and they create a frozen state where all of these traumas are not allowed any space. There's no freedom in your energy field. So for example, a situation occurs, you are viewing the situation. So there's your perception of the situation, then there is your intense emotion that's locked into the situation. So now you have the situation, the intense emotion, and the perception, and they're all locked together, and they're actually locked into the body. We need to take a deep breath. And what we're doing with the art of integral touch is allowing this unwinding to happen, because all of these stressors and bonding issues are also caught in all of the muscles of the face, and all of the cranial nerves, especially the 10th cranial nerve, has a direct relationship to our psychological systems and our physiology. So as these patterns are accessed, the body starts to deeply, deeply relax. And sometimes what it's relaxing from are things that's long since forgotten. They're not even things that are not even in the conscious awareness anymore. They're so deeply buried. But it just takes a moment of something of a similar nature to happen again in your life, and suddenly you're not in present time, because that old fear gets triggered, and before you know it, you're reacting. You're fiery, or you're closed down, or you're the ice queen, or you're defended, and you're no longer in present time, because these memories live in the body. So we're unwinding from the patterns of stress that are held in the body from these memories.